front foot. The only thing that could have saved him after that, and he looked wistfully at the umpire, was because Jadeja has this habit of bowling a no ball on wicket, taking balls. He looked wistfully at the umpire. He's got to walk back. This is the big moment of the morning. Labuschagn's gone for 35.
4 certainties in life in India: death, taxes, a good curry, and getting cleaned up by Jadeja if you try to play him off the back foot.
That feels about right. Jadeja's record against Australia is an extraordinary one. He and Ashwin were always going to turn the screws this morning. They have 3 wickets between them. 4 for 95 the score as Pete Hanscom makes his way out onto the Kotla. 72 unbeaten in the first innings. Did everything right. And in the absence of Labuschagne, so much will hinge on how the Victorian captain fares over the next couple of hours, Harsha Bhogle.
I thought when play began this morning, I thought the game was tilted towards Australia. And certainly the way they started, when Labuschagne got a move on, even after Head was out, I just thought they're getting too many. But 96 ahead, 4 wickets down, I think this game is back on an even keel.
We were talking about it before play with Jared, like 200 odd ahead. Maybe a snifter more, and we have the preconditions for something very special here. But that's going to take some getting. 4 down now, in the lead by 96. This session so far, 3 for 34 from 9.4 overs.
And Australia's best batter of the series has walked out. Maybe alongside Manas Labuschagne, Peter Hanscom has looked the best. Both first innings in Nagpur and in Delhi. And you can see the Indian think tank, Ashwin, Rohit Sharma, Ravindra Jadeja getting together, literally trying to break down the Peter Hanscom game against spin. Looked very comfortable. I don't think he will start playing a lot of shots like some of the others have, Harsha.
Yeah, but these are not bowling figures we see in India too often. Ashwin 2 for 45 off 11, economy rate 4.1. Jadeja 2 for 38, economy rate 5. But now it's 96 for 4. Another wicket down. You're looking at Carey. He's not been amongst the runs, and then into the tail with the wicket just staying a little up and down. What a morning we've had.
The deep point out straight away where Hanscom was so productive a couple of days ago. No one out on the leg side.
But 2 fielders with a sweep shot, identical, sort of 60 degrees or so from the crease.
Yeah. For the reverse and the conventional. Jadeja bowls. Hanscom's first ball forward, lunging, defending. The silly point where Shreyas Iyer eventually does the fielding. Stays at 4 for 95. Hanscom averages bang on 40 in Test cricket. A couple of centuries when he burst onto the scene 6 summers ago in Australia. Jadeja bowls. Hanscom well forward, smothering the spin. That's a plan. That's an approach that can work. A successful over for India, though. Seeing the back of Manas Labuschagne. Australia 4 for 95 on the Kia scoreboard. Kia movement that inspires.
I'm just going to go to the bar. Do you want another one?
What, now? Now something's going to happen here, mate. He's peppering his off stump.
Oh, won't be long this time.
Can I get midstream?
Oh, come on. Hurry up. So many people. Oh, no, what happened? Was that a wicket?
Spending more time queuing for drinks than watching the game? You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
SEN Test Cricket for Tyre Power. Know your tyres. Let us know where you're listening. 0433 98 11 16. Sunday afternoon in Australia. This is boiling perfectly. Ashwin round the wicket, delivers here to Renshaw, spins big out on the rough, lets it go into the gloves of Bharat, who does well moving to his left.
Just to give you a little flavour of India, between overs, the wicketkeeper KS Bharat said Nalla Podre to Ashwin. I have no idea what it meant. There's 2 Indian players talking to each other and I don't know what it means. I've had to ask Bharat what it means.
Ashwin passes umpire off, wide of the crease, round the wicket, shout for leg before again. Finger stays down. Renshaw didn't get as far forward as he might have liked. They won't be reviewing that though.
And I have to agree with my namesake. Rombove Nalla Podra Ashwin. It translates to he's bowling really, really well. Nalla Podra means you're bowling well. I don't think KS Bharat speaks a lot of Tamil. But he's learned enough.
Translations with Bharat Sunderson and Harsha Bhogle. Ashwin bowls again. Huge spin. This pitch is suiting him down to a tee. Renshaw thrusted it. There was nothing he could do. Beat the edge by a mile. Watching it back on our replay screen for Beaumont Tiles. Australia's favourite. He wasn't in the same postcode as that.
That's big turn. And in contrast, the Tamil guy standing at Silly Point speaks in English and says, sweep here, sweep here.
Yeah. It is that steep style of it. Every ball, something's happening.
Now a second slip. Ashwin bowls, Renshaw dances, hit on the pad. Umpire Goff's finger stays down again. Ambitious from Ashwin, but...
Spare a thought, Adam. You're talking about how difficult it is for the batters, where the bowler is going to bowl. It's not easy at all for two entities out there, the keeper and the umpire.
Oh, yeah.
Great point,
because
Harsha.
it's starting to do so much. It's not easy for the umpire and it's not easy for the keeper.
We saw about 4 leg before decisions yesterday where the pad and the bat were so close together. I think of course you can debate this, but they did a really good job yesterday.
I'm just watching Manas Labuschane's replay again. He will be sitting in that change room and saying, go forward, go forward, go forward. As the tracks deteriorate in India, as the bounce gets lower and lower, you just play forward. When you don't know what to do, play forward.
When in doubt, it's Renshaw here. Ashwin bowls. He does get forward in defence.
Just more Lindsay Lohan movies for Manas Labuschagne. Came up with this whole concept, 2-word mantra, Lindsay Lohan's Harsha.
Now, there you go. Where did you pick up all these nuggets, Bharat? Come on.
Ashwin the finish here. Renshaw sweeps, misses, shout, gone. Finger went up with the appeal. Renshaw was committed to the stroke. Ashwin beat him in flight. He'll send it upstairs. But the ball will only need to be touching the stumps, and it went straight on with the arm. In all probability, it's going to be 5 for 95, Harsha Bhogle.
The only thing that can save him is if the angle of the ball is taking it away down leg side.
Player review.
And that's what Hanscom seemed to indicate to him. And he kind of coaxed him into taking the review from the non-striker's end. It was a very full ball, though. That could go against Renshaw.
And height won't be an issue because the ball is just scuttling through.
So first replay here. It was the one that kissed the surface and went, well, not straight on. It's actually straight nicely for him. So it's heading back towards the middle and off stumps. Having hit in line with middle.
Or if there is any bat.
Yeah, they've got to look at glove or see if it took the little bit of the toe.
Flat line, flat line, flat line.
There's so much drama around this, isn't it? You're sitting and watching, if you're watching it in Australia.
It's just missed the glove.
Oh dear.
Nearly saved by that.
Not looking very good for Renshaw.
It's going to be hitting in line with middle.
The stride is so long though. It's such a long stride. He's a tall man.
Here's the projection. Renshaw looks in trouble. It's straightening. It's hitting. Hitting the middle stump halfway up. You better believe they're going to lose their review. And Matt Renshaw is on his way off the field for 2. This morning going from bad to worse for Australia. 5 for 95.
And you just got to look at the choices. Once again, the horizontal bat on a track where the ball is keeping low. I know the sweep shot has been a go-to shot, but generally in India, our thinking is if the batter doesn't know what to do, then he plays the sweep shot. But I think someone with Renshaw's reach, he probably thought that he can get to the pitch of the ball and sweep from there. But Ashwin has spun a web here. Make no mistake, this is not the Ashwin of last night. This is a completely different bowler. He's spun a lovely little web and he's just sitting there and waiting and saying, Spider, come into my web.
Yeah. Matt Renshaw, Bharat, was taken to India on the basis that he's been such an effective player against spin at home, but scores of 0, 2 and 2 in the series.
Yeah, I mean, he spent 3 seasons in Shield cricket batting in the middle order. That's where he really worked on his batting against spin. But then you realize, Harsha and Adam, playing against some of those spinners in Shield cricket, no offense to them, is very, very different to facing Ashwin and Jadeja in this condition.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're playing on a 4th evening, 5th day morning wicket at the Adelaide Oval, it's still not like this. There's still bounce there. There's still short leg slip coming into play there. So,
it's a different task for Alex Carey walking in on a pair for a duck to Ashwin the first time around. Now, can they get Australia to a vaguely credible score? 5 for 95. We see test matches speed up like this in India, especially where Ashwin and Jadeja are involved. The latter to start his 9th over. He's got 2 for 38.
Give us 160. That's what the spinner is saying. Give us 160. Because this morning, this track is misbehaving. It's like an errant child. Needs a little slap on the backside. Come in line.
Both men yet to get off the mark. Hanscom facing. Slip. Silly point, Jadeja to him. It's the slip. Hanscom's gone for a duck. Jadeja does it again. The collapse is well and truly on. Australia 6 for 95, wickets with consecutive deliveries. Kohli making no mistake at first slip.
It's a house of cards and it's crumbling at the moment for Australia. Just nicks the outside edge, floats gently into Kohli's hands. Hanscom is a good player of spin bowling, but he's intent on defence, but he's not quite to the pitches. Let the ball turn, and there's a little bit of bounce as well, and straight easy into the hands of Virat Kohli. And I don't think this Australian camp, or if you're an Australian supporter, you want to see the fall of wickets at this stage, because wickets have fallen 85, 95, 95, 95.
Not much left to come now. Pat Cummins scored some runs in the first innings. He's not been at his best against spin. And Peter Hanscom, as he walks past Pat Cummins, just gives him the nod, saying, well, I tried my best. It's not very easy out there. His best wasn't good enough. This game's not just speeding up. It could be over soon at this rate.
They will be queuing up to open the batting. I think the best place to bat is at the top of the order. And I look at Head 43 or 46, Labuschagne 35. But other than that, all single digits.
Looks like they've taken the formal drinks break with the ground staff on the field. So we'll take a break on SEN Test Cricket for Henley Homes by a completed home at the Dales, Bonniebrook. Henley.com.au, Australia in all sorts. 6 for 95.
Want to build a new home but need to move in now? Henley has fixed price completed homes and townhomes ready to buy with premium inclusions in the best locations. Get the Henley Everyday Advantage. Buy a completed home and move in now. Henley.com.au.
Make your day a cream on top kind of day with a McCafe Deluxe iced coffee. A shot of barista-made espresso with the decadent taste of hazelnut or vanilla or caramel. It's real coffee, real deluxe. McCafe Deluxe iced coffee. Now that's coffee fit for an Aussie.
Just going to grab some more beers. Pause it for me?
No way, mate. We're not pausing live sport. He's about to get his ton.
Nah, it'll be all right. Oh, what? Oh, no. Did I miss it? Come on, mate. You've got to rewind it, please.
Oh, not a chance, mate. You can catch it on the highlights reel.
You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
40 crispy chicken McNuggets are for friends. Together with tangy Cajun sauce, close friends only. Pick up juicy chicken and tangy Cajun at Macca's drive-thru today. Select items available for a limited time.
From cricket to NBL, A-League to horse racing. For all the big moments, expert commentary and the latest breaking news, when it happens in sport, SEN has you covered. Find your channel on the SEN app today.
SEN Test Cricket for Tyre Power. Know your tyres. The story of the morning for Australia. Well, it depends how you want to interpret it. 5 for 30, 4 for 10, or 3 for none. They've lost 3 wickets with the score on 95. They're 6 down. And Pat Cummins, the captain, who made 33 in the first innings, is joining Alex Carey. Neither man has faced the ball. We've got Harsha Bhogle with us for another over. And this, with Jadeja and Ashwin doing as they do, this is feeling familiar.
You look at the immediate, don't you? You look at the immediate, and the immediate is saying that 95 is a barrier that they're struggling to get past. Hanscom for a duck, Renshaw for 2, Labuschagne 35, Smith 9. Australia have now lost 4 for 10 in 5 overs. In 4 overs, in fact.
They've
4
lost
overs in 1 ball.
Yeah, they've lost wickets from the last 2 balls of the match. One to Ashwin, one to Jadeja. Jadeja to Cummins, his first ball. Bowls here, swings and he's bowled! Knocked over, tried to sweep, winning it hard, had his off-stump bent back. Jadeja's on a hat-trick. Australia is 7 for 95. They've lost 4 for none. And there have been wickets from the last 3 balls in this test match. And we're not long for this test match, Harsha Bhogle. This is ending quickly.
Did he get out after Jadeja bowled the ball, or did he get out in that tunnel while he was coming in to bat?
He got out when Peter Hanscom walked past him and gave him that nod. It was too good for me. I don't know whether you were good enough to survive there. And one thing Australia knew they couldn't do on this tour, Harsha Bhogle, is they couldn't panic at any point. They panicked, like Adam said. This won't last for too long now.
Yeah, that was a shot born out of panic. And Pat Cummins has gone first ball for a hike that did not travel a centimetre, only as far as the stumps. And Australia have now lost 4 wickets on 95. It's looking so completely different from last night.
Well, we like to say, Bharat, that test matches speed up in India. This is taking that to an extreme as we're going to say goodbye to Harsha Bhogle. I think you're staying with us. Why don't you pull up a seat, Harsha, for the hat-trick ball. Nathan Lyon coming out to face it. 7 for 95. This is quite staggering stuff. Australia have lost 6 for 30 this morning.
Spoke to Nathan Lyon this morning before play. I said, is it put your feet up or is it when am I going to bowl kind of morning? He said, I've already bowled at 8 or 8:15 in the morning, but I don't think he wanted to be coming out to bat at the moment.
3 Indian men have taken hat-tricks, the most recent of those Jasprit Bumrah. They're going to set up with men everywhere. 2 slips, silly point. A second silly point. Mohammad Shami coming up to what will eventually be a leg slip or a leg gully. Jadeja bowling to Lyon on a hat-trick. Delivers here, Lyon forward, pushing out to the square of the 2 silly points, not to be Bharat's underration.
And not to be for Jadeja, not to be for you, Adam Collins. Your wait for that hat-trick continues. But when the story of the series is written, I think we will revisit that Pat Cummins shot many, many times. It says a lot of things about this Australian team right now.
You have to give yourself a chance. You cannot come into bat thinking my only chance is to slog, because the percentages are so against you when you slog.
Bowling here is Jadeja. He's forward line, pushing out to point, no single. It's all for having a plan, which we've spoken about, right? Having a plan to somehow repel this relentless attack, but I mean, trying to pop it over cow corner first ball.
Or Steve Smith sweep.
Jadeja bowls, lines forward in defence. That'll work.
That sweep by Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Is he a sweeper? Normally by nature, I don't see him do that shot too often.
Not the shot he goes to automatically. And you could see he missed it by a mile. One thing he prides himself on when he does sweep is not letting the ball slide under his bat.
It's, Bharat, it's one of those what have I done there moments. Can I press the rewind button in life? So many times we tell ourselves, can we rewind life?
Last ball of the over, past the edge again. A double wicket maiden for Jadeja. 4 wickets falling with the score on 95. Australia 7 down on the Kia scoreboard. Kia movement that inspires. Jerry Waitley coming in for me.
I'm just going to go to the bar. Do you want another one?
What, now? Now something's going to happen here, mate. He's peppering his off stump.
Oh, won't be long this time.
Can I get mid-string?
Oh, come on. Hurry up. So many people. Oh, no, what happened? Was that a wicket?
Spending more time queuing for drinks than watching the game? You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
A catastrophic first hour of play for Australia. 7 for 95. Carey and Lyon together in the middle without scoring. Ashwin picked out the batters, and then Jadeja's just embarrassing a few along the way. Ravi Shastri. Hello to you, Ravi.
Morning, Gerard. Sweeping problems for Australia.
Sweeping problems, that's rather perfect. It's one of the worst concession shots I've ever seen from an Australian batter, and it came from the captain. That's unedifying, I think. Speaks to the environment out in the middle. Ashwin around the wicket. Carey reaching on the reverse sweep. Goes to backward square line. Calls him through. Throw comes in. Line beats it home. One more to the score. 7 for 96. So tell me what's happened.
Oh, it's just the approach. I mean, just the refusal to back your defence, and some of the shots that were played will get that dressing room going once this game is over. Either way, they still got to believe they can get another stitch, another 50 from here, try and get to 150 at any cost, because that still runs on the board. There's enough there for the spinners. Australia have got 3, but some of the shots played today.
So it starts with Smith, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, he's a reluctant sweeper at most times, and to see him play that shot, sometimes you think, a player of his ability, is there a need for him to try those kind of risky shots on this track where his wicket is at a premium?
So he fell for 9 LBW when he missed the sweep. Labuschagne couldn't jam down on the slider from Jadeja, which was a beautiful piece of bowling. Ashwin flights the ball to Lyon, who just got something on it on the way to the pad.
And he's bowled beautifully, Ashwin. No question about that. He started things off this morning. What's good to see in this game is how close he's got to the stumps at the time of delivery from over the wicket.
Ashwin again. Lyon, he sweeps off the top edge. Fine leg didn't see it, and it runs away for 4. So Lyon scrambles a boundary for Rotaflex by Blunston, and Australia brings up the 100 in the 25th over, but for the loss of 7.
Yes, and Nathan Lyon is an off-spinner. So if he's sweeping, 2 things he'll try with Ashwin bowling over the wicket is ensure that the line is 4th stump, 5th stump when the ball is bowled, and try and get that front foot outside the line and then swing hard. Now there's a man that shot fine precisely for that top edge.
Yep. Slip back pad just a little back, and then the sweeper on the 45 and a deep backward square. Lyon's going to go again. He gets it safely to turf as he bangs it out to the deep backward square. KL Rahul does the fielding. Lyon goes to 5.
Where Australia must believe is India were 130 for 7. You imagine if Australia had got a lead of 60 or even 80, this would be 180. Different ball games.
Yep.
They got to believe that they can add another 50 from here.
So much rests on the blade of Australia's keeper, Alex Carey. He's 1 from 1. Ashwin 3 for 51. 2 slips in place for Carey. Ashwin bowls to him. He's down, sweeping into the pad. It goes. They ask and are turned down.
Yeah, it looks as if it would have gone down the leg side.
Yep.
But I said yesterday, Gerard, 4:23. Day 3, game over. Either way. It's looking good now.
It is looking good. It's for where we were so poised. It's a disappointment for the match, but it is a credit to India's spinners. Carey reverse sweeps. He's just managed to get it away. No real hope of a run. But he does survive, and that is something in the day's play. 7 for 101. Kia scoreboard. Kia movement that inspires.
Order the McValue bundle at Macca's today. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on? Available between 10:30 a.m. and midnight at participating restaurants. See our website for details.
People call me the world's best bargain hunter. I call them with my Kogan Mobile monthly plan. Unlimited talk, text, and 40 gigs for $25 a month with first month free. Talk about a bargain. KoganMobile.com.au. T's and C's apply.
This opening session, build your best workforce with MEGT.com.au. We've only had 13 overs in the day's play. And Australia has gone from 1 for 61 to 7 for 101. Head 43, Smith 9, Labuschagne 35, Renshaw 2, Hanscom 0, Cummins first ball, Dark Carey is 1, Lyon is 5. Ravi Shastri just put us inside the Indian camp last night and this morning in their planning. So Head takes it to them yesterday and then they reset themselves. Ashwin strikes in the first over and just that so familiar stranglehold that these two world-class spinners take on a game. Jadeja to Lyon, forward defending.
The game plan would have been, let's keep it tight in that first half an hour. We'll get a lot more purchase from the surface. Every day, first 45 minutes, there's some hit.
Lyon drives past Jadeja and he picks up a single, 7 for 102.
Let's try and strike in that first hour of play. That would have been the game plan, and it's worked perfectly. Keep things right, get it in the right areas, let the pitch do the rest. It's done just that. Australia panicked by playing certain shots that they have done. That has led to their downfall. Their plan should have been, let's have wickets in hand after lunch. Yep. That's when the pitch will ease out. That's when it will slow up. The ball will get softer. And that's the time you've had partnerships in this game. Unfortunately, they've lost 7.
Well, it just manipulates his leg side field with 3 in the deep. As Carey faces up, he's down and sweeping. He'll get a single down to backward square. Axel Patel does the fielding, 7 for 102.
Because things happen so quickly here. This is a deadly pair. When one strikes early, he's in business. Jadeja took a while to settle. Once he got in, he's picked up 3 in a flash. So, and Ashwin has been brilliant. I think where he's done Australia more than anything else is because of the revs and the pace at which he bowls. He gets the ball to drift and dip. So even if you're looking to sweep,
Jadeja bowls, line back, prods the ball to the offside.
the ball pitches a little further back than what you think. You know, because of the dip he gets, because of the amount of revs. It's top-class bowling. It's deception at its best.
Yeah. A lot of Australian fans here arrived with such high hopes on this Sunday. Lyon is forward, blocking back to Jadeja, and that has all dissipated through the first hour.
And what will Lyon be thinking? He'll be thinking, how much do I need?
Yeah.
150? 160?
Lyon from the crease, decisively forward. Keeps it along the ground, sees it off. 7 for 103. The Kia Sports scoreboard. Kia, movement that inspires.
Just going to grab some more beers. Pause it for me?
No way, mate. We're not pausing live sport. He's about to get his ton.
Nah, it'll be all right. Oh, what? Oh, no. Did I miss it? Come on, mate. You got to rewind it, please.
Oh, not a chance, mate. You can catch it on the highlights reel. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
SEN Test Cricket for Henley Holmes by Henley, completed home at the Dales, Bonnybrook, henley.com.au. 7 for 103. Ashwin and Jadeja have bowled exclusively so far today, and they have done it devastatingly. 14 overs, 6 for 42 in the day's play. Carey's on strike. Ashwin begins his new over. Forward he comes. So you've seen the panic of touring teams in this scenario through the years, Ravi. Is it possible to halt that ferocious momentum when these two in particular get going? How do you do it?
It's shot selection. It's shot selection and trusting your defence.
Carey is forward defending.
If you don't trust your defence, that's when you try things out of the ordinary, things that you are not used to. That's when one wicket is followed by 2 more. You've got to arrest that tide. I mean, try and look at how the partnerships took place in this game. Look at the shot selection of those players. Look at Akshar Patel's shot selection when he came in. You know, it was solid defence, waiting on the loose ball, and then opening up towards the end.
2 slips for Carey, who's back and keeping out the quicker ball coming at the stumps. He knocks it to mid-on, no run.
And what surprised me is they're far better players than that, this Australian team. So they've got to back their ability.
Ashwin comes to Carey, flighted delivery, down the ground he goes, past long on for 4. Some badly needed runs for Australia. Alex Carey is 6, 7 for 107. The boundaries for Rotoflex by Blunston. Stability meets the freedom to move.
Now that's good shot selection. The field is up and no half measures. You know, he's decided if it's up, I'm going to go. So it's not being in 2 minds.
Ashwin with the follow-up. Carey is forward. He's going to play tip and run. They're going to have to scramble. Keeper gathers, misses. Bharat with a heave at the stumps from 2 pitches away. He would have been touch and go for Lyon. It's a heightened, anxious environment out in the middle for Australia. They get a run the hard way.
Yes, he would have made it, I think, even if it was a direct hit. But from the Indian point of view, just talking about the approach, when the Indian team sees Smith batting the way he is, suddenly it sends a message. They're worried that they don't back themselves to last too long on the surface.
Ashwin over the wicket, Lyon to the shorter ball, nibbles it away, forward of point. There's a couple of runs to be had. They quickly come back. And it moves to 7 for 110. Actually got 7 from the last 3 balls. That is the end of the over. Kia scoreboard, Kia movement that inspires.
Make your day a cream on top kind of day with a McCafe Deluxe Iced Coffee. A shot of barista-made espresso with the decadent taste of hazelnut or vanilla or caramel. It's real coffee, real deluxe. McCafe Deluxe Iced Coffee. Now that's coffee fit for an Aussie.
Just a hose with holes in it. No way, Jose. This is Poke Drip Ease, deceptively clever irrigation that drips drops precisely, so there's less water wasted, and it's made right here in Australia.
SEN Test cricket for tyre power, 4 for 3 on Falcon passenger tyres, 7 for 110. Lioners 8, Carriers 7. Ravi Shastri's just taking us into the mindset of the Indian camp when they see a batter like Smith play the rash sweep that he did and get out.
Yeah, and just the way he was batting in that innings. You know, you got the feeling that he doesn't back himself hanging there. Now here's the same player who got a brilliant 100 in Pune. You know, on a track far worse than this.
Occasion to Carey, it's bowled. He tried to reverse sweep. He got done. All ends up. And the off stump is uprooted. And this litany of disaster for Australia is unending. 8 for 110 as Carey goes for 7 and Jadeja has 5.
They're too good, these two. Especially Jadeja, once he gets into the groove and the pace at which he bowls, he was far too clever for Alex Carey. He had left the stumps open. This one skidded through, thudded into the stumps. They're falling like 9 pins this morning, Australia. 8 down now. Not too many on the board, and it'll be Nathan Lyon who'll have to carry the fight here with another 25 or 30 runs. Rohit Sharma knows the importance of these wickets.
All the big moments have belonged to India for Bendix, the best known breaks. Peter Lawler comes in to join us. Oh, Pete, this has been a disaster. It's a disaster. Australia should feel utterly despondent with the way they've carried themselves through an hour and a quarter.
Yes, Jared. Yes, we were in much better mood an hour and a quarter ago. Ravi, you say they're just too good. It's a very good point that you make. The instinct as an Australian watching this game and covering this game will be to criticise the batsmen. That is not that's not quite fair, because you have to give credit to these two bowlers. They are incredible. There's conditions made for them. They have ripped a hole in this game. They've torn the throat out of the Australian innings.
Oh yeah, they've been at you, right? They've been at the throat of the Australian batsmen. They forced them to play the kind of shots they have by just being relentless, being skillful, and just being on top of their game. And they complement each other well. Ashwin, flight, guile, deception. Jadeja, flat, accurate, touchy.
15.1 overs, 7 for 49. Todd Murphy comes out into the fire. He faces up to Jadeja. He's got bat and pad together defending the cover. They go for the sharp single and line. Oh, he probably got there. It's a photo finish. It's a photo finish. Pujara with the quick throw to Bharat, ripped the stump out of the ground.
Now Rohit Sharma came running in from point, and he said he thought Nathan Lyon's back got stuck in the ground as he was looking to drag it. We'll have to wait and look. Indians were very confident. Have a look at that bat.
Lyon reaches out as the ball arrives. Oh, he placed it over the line. He didn't even slide it in. He got there. Shouldn't be doing that. But replays for Beaumont Tiles, Australia's favourites.
Good throw by Pujara.
Direct hit would have had him. Poor bit of cricket by the Australians. Last thing you really need in a situation like this is a run out.
I mean, Australia will be casting their mind back to yesterday. 137 for 7 India. A golden opportunity. Having said that, all's not lost. I do believe there's cricket to be played in this game. Another 30 runs from here. This could be a good game. Very good game.
You'd like to see 150, wouldn't you?
Yep.
150.
Oh yeah.
The bowlers something.
You'll take that.
Yes.
From here.
Pat Cummins has the brains trust in the pavilion tight together, talking with the coaching staff, with Dave Warner, with Steve Smith. The lead is 112. There are 2 wickets that Australia still has, and they're going to be crowded, all right. 2 slips, a silly mid-off, and an extra cover prowling around. Jadeja bowls and Lyon defends.
I can't get comfortable for a minute in this country on these pitches against these bowlers, Ravi Shastri.
You cannot, because there's nothing on offer. You've got to manufacture everything. You'll get the odd loose ball, but that's about it.
Jadeja, the line, flicked it up in the air. It just cleared Jadeja, who got tangled up with Todd Murphy in his endeavours to rush back and have a dive at it. Two to come in the over. Line back. Plays from the off stump out to cover, no run.
Plenty to ponder for Pat Cummins, and you can see the senior management there.
Line reaching forward outside the off stump, which kept spinning and spinning away. One from the over, a wicket lost. 8 for 111. The Kia scoreboard. Kia, movement that inspires.
Learning new skills, bonding with loved ones, exercising the mind and body. All rewarding. But not as rewarding as a Kogan Money credit card. With a whopping $400 Kogan.com credit to spend on the most in-demand products when you meet the minimum spend criteria. Did we also mention there's no annual fee? Use it anytime, anywhere. The Kogan Money credit card. It's just more rewarding. Search Kogan Money to find out more. Spend criteria applies. Offer ends March 5, 2023. T's and C's, other fees and charges apply. Credit provider, National Australia Bank Limited.
SEN Test cricket for tyre power. Know your tyres. 8 for 111. Line is 8. Murphy is 1. Is 8 for 111. Murphy faces up to the challenge of Ashwin, and he plonks himself forward to defend. 2 slips and a silly mid-off crowding in and around the youngsters.
Just being tormented out there, the Australian bowlers. You see that last ball from Jadeja? It seemed to hit the edge of a foot mark or something. It turned square.
And that's what gets you in the mind as a batsman.
That's right. And the bounce.
And the
some
bounce.
are bouncing, some aren't.
And then from the non-strikers end, you see Labusheng's one just shoot through, take the toe off the bat, rattle the stumps.
It's like being in Abu Ghraib, frankly.
Ashwin, he has 3. He bowls to Murphy, and he's got that covered, smothering the spin.
I mean, this is when, as a spinner, and you're batting now for Australia, you're concentrating the most. You know, come on, another 30 runs, another 40 runs. That's what we'll have to play with when we get the ball in our hands.
The 2 out there, and Kuhnemann are going to carry it for Australia when their turn comes. Ashwin bowls, and Murphy is forward defending.
And Rohit Sharma as a captain, I'll tell you, he won't allow the game to drift. Very rarely in Indian conditions will he allow the game to drift. He's on the money in quick bowling changes. He keeps most of his bowlers in the game.
Murphy from the crease does well to silly middle.
And you can see what happens now. The game's getting faster, isn't it? They come at you every delivery. They're not dawdling. It did drift last night, I thought. I thought the Indians looked a little bit frustrated because the Australian batsmen were hitting them off their line. Once they caught that outside edge of Travis Head's bat, they were away. They sniffed blood.
Ashwin over the wicket. Murphy will find a single off the last ball of the over from the inside edge, which trickles to mid-wicket. 8 for 112. The Kia scoreboard. Kia move. One to come. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Ravi. You're better at counting to 6 than I am.
No, the game was in the first half an hour for me. First 45 minutes when the pitch, had the bite for the spinners to exploit. Australia had to negotiate that period, which they did.
Line will see the last ball. He stands up on it, tickles it away to square leg, no run. So that is the end of the over. 8 for 112. The Kia scoreboard. Kia, movement that inspires.
40 crispy chicken McNuggets are for friends. Together with tangy Cajun sauce, close friends only. Pick up juicy chicken and tangy Cajun at Macca's drive-thru today. Select items available for a limited time.
From cricket to NBL, A-League to horse racing. For all the big moments, expert commentary and the latest breaking news, when it happens in sport, SEN has you covered. Find your channel on the SEN app today.
SEN Test cricket for Henley Homes via Henley completed home at Dales Bonnybrook. Henley.com.au. Jadeja from the far end. He's got the figures thus far. 5 for 41. He's in and he bowls to Murphy, who knocks it away to extra cover, no run.
Have 7 wickets fallen this morning?
They
Joe?
have, Pete.
Every time you blink, one falls. Just slow down momentarily, but it will speed up again.
What's scary, Australia lost almost all their wickets in one session of play in Ahmedabad. The same is happening here.
Murphy back turns the ball just past the short leg. It snuck past down to Aksar in the deep and a single taken, 113 on the board.
Still half an hour to go for lunch, and you're already 7 down. And when you see what happened in the last test, there are serious problems for that top order. They've got to try and get back in here with another 30-40 runs and then create some panic in the Indian batting lineup.
Lyon is forward defending. So 4 wickets on 95. So when all the analysis is done, Labuschagne got done by the shooter. Renshaw just looked like he had no idea. Hanscom with an edge. As Lyon knocks the ball to the leg. Oh, he sent back, got a scramble. Bharat misses. Got out from behind the stumps, but he couldn't find the woodwork.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. They're in disarray. It's interesting to see David Warner sitting there next to Steve Smith behind Pat Cummins. What would they be talking about?
What can they talk about?
Do you even open the bowling with Pat Cummins on a wicket like this? Do you just go straight to 2 spinners?
I think so.
Lyon whacks the ball into the stumps. He's played it on. Jadeja's got 6. Australia's only got 1 left in the shed. They teeter at 113. Lyon departs for 8.
They're tottering on the brink. This is too fast for anyone's comfort. 8 wickets in the session, and Jadeja picking up his 6th wicket, and 6 for nothing really.
You can see the pain, you can see the hurt. Nathan Lyon, he just bent over his bat and bowled his heart out to get Australia back into this match. Let down by the top order. He walks off with a heavy heart.
But what bowling from India today. I mean, two bowlers used, they've complemented each other extremely well. They bowl non-stop since the start of play. And Australia just losing wickets in such a hurry.
Yes, the images captured of Australian fans looking at each other, just heads shaking, hands out. You don't need to hear it. You can visibly see what is transpiring.
Gerard, Peter just asked me about what would Pat Cummins, Steve Smith and David Warner be discussing. I said not much at this stage. Now when you saw those pictures of the Australian supporters, they were pretty much the same. They seemed to be stunned.
Yeah.
It's so quick. I mean, no one can believe it. I mean, still half an hour to go for lunch. Who on earth would have thought the score would be 113 for 9? It resumed at 60 for 1?
Yeah.
Shoo.
So 1 for 61 in the session last night and 8 for 52 in the session today. Matt Kuhneman faces up. He keeps Jadeja at bay. He plays the ball to the leg side. And that is the end of a successful over again. 9 for 113. The Kia scoreboard, Kia movement that inspires.
I'm just going to go to the bar. Do you want another one?
What, now? Now something's going to happen here, mate. He's peppering his off stump.
Won't be long this time.
Can I get mid-string?
Oh, come on. Hurry up. So many people.
Oh, no, what happened? Was that a wicket?
Spending more time queuing for drinks than watching the game? You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
A shout out to our listeners in the UK listening across the morning on Talk Sport 2. It's great to have Talk Sport as part of our coverage, and SENZ in New Zealand taking all of this as Australia have been routed in a frightening manner here in Delhi. 9 for 113. Ashwin bowls to Murphy, who's back wrapped on the pad but sliding down leg. Bharat, welcome back.
Jared, Ravi, I keep going back to that moment when Peter Hanscom just walked past Pat Cummins and just shook his head like, I did my best, sorry Captain.
Ashwin to Murphy, he plays the ball to point and he sends Kuhneman back.
It's just been relentless. I'm trying to see where was a loose ball in this session of play. Nothing on offer. Both the bowlers have been on the money. Jadeja took a little while to get into the groove, maybe 2 or 3 overs. Once he got a wicket, there's no looking back. He's picked up 6 wickets himself, 5 wickets himself in this session of play.
Murphy faces up. Oh, maybe into the pad, fell out to the offside. Safe.
And the problem with Australia will be thinking is, what's our lead? 1 run. Wish we had a lead of 50 plus.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why it's so difficult to beat India, right? Winning an entire day itself is so difficult.
Ashwin bowls. Murphy had a swing outside the off stump. He missed.
Yesterday they won the first session. You would say they won the third session. But still, it wasn't an overwhelming victory. India still got as close as just 1 run behind.
But what this is telling India, it's sending a strong message to India.
Ashwin now over the wicket, bowls to Murphy, who punches the ball to extra cover. Rod Fields, no run.
And the message it's sending is we can win a match in 1 session of play. If you can take 6, 7, 8 wickets in a session of play, you're front runners most of the time.
Last ball of the over. Murphy sees it off. 9 for 113. Thanks, Ravi. Kia scoreboard. Kia movement that inspires. Colo's coming in.